Thank you so much for joining us today, Cheryl. We will be conducting our interview together today.
Well, thank
The
you for having me.
No problem. So the first question I have for you is, could you please tell us some more about who you are and your personal touching story?
Sure, thank you. When you're at your doctor's office or you're at your specialist's office, and sometimes you just hear those dreaded words of whatever it is you don't want to hear. And sometimes we take those dreaded words with such negativity. So if you've ever been diagnosed with something, like I was, when I heard that word diabetes, it hit me. And it's like, I looked at that as a life sentence at first. But then I thought, what is the gift here in diabetes? And so, with diabetes coming into my life and finding out through falling into a coma, that really got my attention. And I really needed to look at what is the gift in this. So, my name is Cheryl Ivaniski, and a little bit more about me is that I have committed my life to helping people live an empowered and inspired life despite having diabetes.
So our next question is, could you please share with us your educational and training background?
Sure. I actually am traditionally licensed and trained in the medical traditional model of care and still have my license. And then once I was diagnosed with diabetes and the medical community, what they were giving me for a prognosis and recommendations were not giving me the solutions and the numbers that I wanted. So I decided to take a stand that there was a better way. And I went back to school earning my doctorate in holistic studies and then a second doctorate in traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture. And of course, didn't stop there, but went on to study advanced natural nutrition and mind body medicine and hypnosis and NLP. So I have a really wonderful background in both traditional and in naturopathic medicine, and I offer a holistic approach and a truly integrative approach to wellness.
What makes you unique that sets you apart from the rest?
Well, I would say that living in the shoes of someone who experiences diabetes every day, and I live in that space every day, it doesn't give you a break, it's on 24/7, is very unique. And the fact that over many years I've been a participant in many research studies that gives us our modern day technology today. So I would say the uniqueness that I bring is understanding what it's like as a person living with diabetes, and then understanding what else is possible with what the future offers, being in so many research studies. And with that, especially with the whole natural approach combined with the best of traditional medicine, I'd say the biggest gift there that sets me apart from everyone else is being able to discover the four steps. I have a four-step proprietary process to balancing and normalizing blood sugars naturally. So I would say that's what makes me unique.
So, what are the most common conditions you experience from your clients?
Well, I have two types of clients. I have clients who live with diabetes every day and their family members who love them very much and care for them. And then I have another set of clients that are health professionals, both traditionally trained and also healers and naturopathic practitioners who become students and learn the holistic approaches and create niche markets within their practices. So I have two different areas of clients. But to address your question about what are the most common conditions that I experience from my clients, the clients living with diabetes and the ones who love them come to me with complete frustration, complete anxiety, and stressed out because no matter what they're doing, they feel like they're hitting their head against a brick wall, which I totally understand. Been there, done it. So they come to me with such give me solutions. I'm not getting solutions. So the most common condition with working with people with diabetes is being able to help them break down how it's always been for them, opening up their mindset to what else is possible, showing them the difference through my numbers and what I do, and now what thousands of students and clients do, so that they too can feel they can join that success. So I would say a big part of it is mindset, but of course, the other parts are really giving them the tools and the know-hows, the implementations that make all the difference for them.
So to bounce off the previous question we just asked, our next question is, what can our clients expect from you?
So here's what the clients at the Miracles Directory can expect. They can expect life-giving information to help people not just prevent complications, but they can halt complications right in their tracks. They can start to turn around their quality of life and start to heal from the inside out. Number one. The next thing that people can expect is leading edge education with the newest discoveries, the newest technologies that are making breakthroughs, and the newest holistic measures that are implemented. That could be a slightly different approach, or it might be the combination of a few things, but what they can expect are solutions that work. The other thing that they can expect, and not many people probably know this, but women and men living with diabetes, their life expectancy is 5 to 15 years less. So the average woman lives to be 81 and a half years old. The average woman with diabetes lives to be 68 to 69. And so what I bring to people in the Miracles Directory is that wonderful life extension of longevity and that wonderful healing from the inside out. Now, for the practitioners who are wonderful health practitioners, I also, like I said, offer wonderful training so that if they want to add niche market client care in the area of holistic diabetes wellness, there's that training for them too. So, with so many people obviously knowing somebody with diabetes, this can help clients that are now clients of the Miracles Directory. It can also help the actual healthcare practitioners who are, heart centered to deliver more care and more options to their clients too.
Could you then please share 3 tips or processes that you do
Sure.
take your clients through?
Sure, absolutely. So many people think that diabetes is all about food. And although food will have the most immediate impact on blood sugar levels, it's not just all about the food. It's a much bigger picture than that. So, the 4-step proprietary process, the winning formula, if you will, that has been working for me for decades. And I show my A1Cs, which are the 3-month averages, to everyone like clockwork because I'm always in that target zone and that's what I want for people. So, the tips and the processes that I can share with you today about my 4-step proprietary process, which is called the Diabetes Success System, is that the first thing is that mind shifting is so important because we've been thwarted into in our traditional model of care about what we can expect. And those are the many complications caused by diabetes. When in fact, it doesn't have to be like that at all. The doctors told me I could expect to lose my vision in the first 5 to 7 years. And, it's almost 30 years later, and I don't experience complications. So it's all about mind shifting. So that's one of the first steps of the proprietary process. The next is all about diabetes friendly foods and walk everyone through what is a trigger, what's a trigger food, and what's an ally, what's a healthy swap. And you can have your cake and eat it too. You just have to know how. The third part in the third process is all about what it takes to decrease insulin resistance, which means that's going to increase our insulin efficiency. And how do we do that through simple, easy, and gentle movements that can make all the difference for our circulation and our blood flow? And of course, the last is mastery, and that is using the best self-care practices that are going to not just help stabilize blood sugar levels, but also be able to give you that reduce internal inflammation on the inside, which will help those complications. So it's all about mind shifting, meals, movement, and mastery. So one example would be, and I'll use this with my power hour of the day. And one way that I spend my diabetes wellness power hour of the day is really planning what snacks I'm going to have that day, and actually planning what meal I'm going, the largest meal I'm going to have that day. So one of my tips is to have your fresh fruit in between meals as a standalone. And that actually helps to balance blood sugar levels. You can also add a bit of protein to that. And you want to choose something, and this is a tip, that is lower glycemic. That means it doesn't raise your sugar very high, if at all, or very long, if at all. So we have lots of hints for those. I'll give you an example if you'd like, but that's one tip. So an example of a low glycemic fruit would be, for example, strawberries or raspberries or blackberries or kiwi, things like that.
We're going to shift over to questions about the Miracles Directory.
Okay.
Our first question is, what brought you to Miracles Directory?
Well, actually, it's a who brought me to the Miracles Directory, and that is Lynn. So Lynn and I first met when we were both guest speakers in a wellness online, I'm going to say podcast. It was actually like a training. And so her and I were brought into this training as guest speakers, and we connected because we're both heart centered. And that's where we met. And then Lynn asked me to customize some trainings for some audiences that were specific to wellness in her world. And so I did that not just for her, but for colleagues of hers as well. And then she actually participated in my Diabetes Friendly Kitchen Kickstart series and loved it so much. Her husband came in as well, and they were just so wowed with the impact and difference that it made. She reached out to me and said, "You have got to be in this directory." So that's how I got to know about your directory.
Our next question is, what makes you believe that Miracles Directory is making a difference?
Okay, well, there's a couple of responses to that. Number one, knowing Lynn and knowing what she stands for, I completely support that. The other things that I find are they're heart-centered. So these are heart-centered individuals that are giving of themselves to help people and to help people elevate, to help them rise in their own lives. So that's completely in alignment with my philosophy in life and in wellness. And I think the other thing too about this is it's about connecting with others. It's about sharing with others. So I think it's a communal place where there's always going to be trusted wellness information and inspiration, as well as probably some really great testament to things that people are doing, things that might be new, things that might be retried in different ways that are being shared with people. So I think that the fact that it's heart-centered and that it's there to connect people and elevate people for their best well-being, I think that our alignments jive. So I think that I can see that that's what makes me believe that this directory, the Miracle Directory, is going to make that great difference for people. They're going to get that energy from it.
With regards to our next question, I know you mentioned earlier what our clients can expect from you, but I'm going to ask if you can explain one way that you can positively impact our Miracles Directory clients.
So for your Miracle Directory clients, I think that inspiration is a really big thing. So for me personally, knowing that I was so close to not being here today and having survived a coma, which few people survive after only a couple of days, I think that being able to, despite what specialists and doctors have said, to be able to be an inspiration for people, to show them that, you know what, if there's a will, there's a way. And if there's a way and you're committed to it, you can find it. And being friends with yourself at the deepest level that allows you to support yourself and then others. So I think that inspiration and empowering others to know that, you know, if you want to really look at solutions and wellness for yourself, that keep searching because I think it'll show up. when you're ready.
What is your commitment message to everyone?
I'd say that my commitment and my stand in life is that there be a diabetes-free world, and I stand for that. I also stand that people are their own source of self-empowerment, no matter what condition that you may have. I never like to say disease because I find that that's negative. If you have an issue or a challenge, that gives you space to be empowered by it and to move through it. Overcoming things, I think, is overstated because I think moving through things that you're able to be seasoned and you're able to have sheer accomplishment. So I would say that what I'm able to stand for and what I'm committed to is empowering people to live their healthiest life. And I'm really, really glad to be able to help people do that.
I appreciate you taking your time to do this interview with me. I also want to say thank you.
And thank you too.